By far, my favorite woodworking tool in 2024 was my 3D printer. I know I said my 3D printer, now I'm showing you three 3D printers. I can explain. So the first one I purchased at the end of 2023 was a Bambu Lab P1. I bought this printer because it was affordable and easy to use, according to the reviews. To this day, I'm amazed at how good this printer is for the money. It is the workhorse in my studio and has pumped out thousands of prints for my online store sales. If you've done any research on this printer, you will know that it had a recall in the spring of 2024, which required parts to be replaced before further use as it had a small risk of catching fire. This was what I needed to push me to buy the next printer that I had been drooling over for the months leading up to the recall. The P1s is probably the printer you are convinced you need if you've been following any of the influencers and reviews online, and it's an awesome 3D printer for sure. With an enclosure that allows you to print more advanced plastics and arguably the best looking design, it's the one you want. But is it the one you need? For most people, the answer is simple. It's no. The A1 is more user-friendly and better value for most of your printing needs. Yes, it looks like a cheap kitchen appliance in comparison, but it will print all of your basic plastics almost as fast and very nearly indistinguishable in quality to the P1s. After getting the A1 back into action, I quickly got it back pumping out products for my store and used the P1s for prototyping and one-off prints. At some point, I needed to set it up to print a very particular part for one of my products, and it too got tied up. I needed another printer so I could print when I want and not have to wait for a print to end, which could take as long as 12 hours. So it was at this point I decided to buy an A1 Mini. It is much the same as the A1, only a little smaller build volume and a smaller price. It quickly became my favorite, as I surprised myself at just how capable it was and how little I needed the large build volume. So you should just buy this one, right?
No.
Not so fast. For making jigs, the larger build volume is still nice to have. If you aren't quite sure that 3D printing is something that will change the way you work, but maybe it would be fun to have around the house for the family, maybe you could start with the A1 Mini. If you upgrade later, I assure you that you will still use your Mini. Mine is my go-to for quick prints. But if you know you're in it for the long haul and dedicated to learning some new skills and upping your game with making jigs and other tools to improve your workflow, then buy the A1. Again, an upgrade to the P1s will not make the A1 obsolete. Some people just have to have the coolest machine, and I'm not above that myself. So if you want to dive in head first, go ahead, get the P1s. It's awesome. Might as well get the AMS unit as well. Hey, it's only money. The AMS is nice to have with a few extra colors loaded, so you don't need to swap spools every time you want to change colors. And if you are printing more productively, you can load the same filament into more than one bay and it will swap spools if one runs out. The AMS for the A1 and the A1 Mini does not have that feature. And to be honest, I wouldn't personally add an AMS to an A1 series. You chose it to be economical after all. Now, you may have noticed all these printers are made by a company called Bambu Lab, and there is a good reason for that. At the moment, they present the best value and ease of use of any printer on the market. There are other good companies out there, like Prusa for instance, but most people who own both will tell you to get a Bambu for your first printer. My experience is limited to Bambu Lab as I am fairly new to this game, so take it for what it's worth.